The kitchen clock read 11:47 p.m. when Lana walked through our front door like she owned the place. 7 days, 7 complete days without a word, and she strolls in wearing that black dress I bought her for our anniversary, heels clicking against the hardwood like she's announcing her grand entrance. I didn't look up from the kitchen table. Her phone, the secret one she thought I didn't know about, sat unlocked next to my coffee cup. Photos scattered across the surface like playing cards, bank statements, hotel receipts, a private investigator's report bound in manila folders. "You're up late," she said, setting her purse down with that careful precision she used when she was nervous. "Couldn't sleep," I replied, finally meeting her eyes. "Funny thing about insomnia, gives you time to think, time to dig." Lana's face went through 3 expressions in 2 seconds. Confusion, recognition, then something close to panic. She saw the phone, saw the photos of her and Eli Sloane wrapped around each other outside his downtown apartment, saw the credit card statements showing charges at restaurants I'd never been to. "Rowan, I can explain." "No need." I pushed the divorce papers across the table. "Already figured it out myself." She grabbed the phone, started scrolling through it like she could somehow delete what I'd already seen. "You went through my private things. That's illegal. So is adultery in this state. Affects asset division." I tapped the bank statements. "Especially when you've been funding your boyfriend's lifestyle with our joint account." The color drained from her face. Lana was a PR manager, used to controlling narratives, spinning stories. But this wasn't some corporate crisis she could massage with the right words. "You don't understand what you're looking at," she said. "I understand plenty. Eli Sloane, 28, fitness influencer, drives a BMW you helped finance, lives in that glass tower on 5th Street, apartment 12B. Should I continue?" She slumped into the chair across from me. "How long have you known?" "Long enough to freeze our joint accounts, long enough to change the locks, long enough to document everything for my attorney." Lana's mask finally slipped. The composed, professional woman disappeared, replaced by something desperate and ugly. "You can't do this to me. I won't let you destroy my life." I stood up, gathered the papers. "Funny thing, Lana, I'm not destroying anything, just stopping you from destroying what's left of mine." Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. The Anchor Inn wasn't much to look at. Cracked vinyl booths, neon beer signs, and regulars who'd been nursing the same grudges since the Clinton administration. But Marlene behind the bar knew every secret in town, and secrets were currency in a place like this. "Rowan Kerrick," she said, polishing a glass that had seen better decades. "Haven't seen you in here for months. Heard Lana's been keeping you busy." "Actually, Marlene, that's what I wanted to talk about." I slid onto a bar stool, ordered whiskey neat. "Seems my wife's been keeping herself busy too." Marlene's eyes lit up. In a town where the biggest excitement was usually someone's lawn being too long, marital drama was premium entertainment. "Do tell," she said, leaning closer. I pulled out one of the photos, nothing explicit, just Lana and Eli holding hands outside a restaurant. Turns out she's been mentoring young entrepreneurs, real, hands-on approach. "Well, I'll be damned." Marlene studied the photo like it was a treasure map. "Isn't that the fitness boy? The one with all those social media followers? Eli Sloane, nice kid, real dedicated to his craft. And your wife's been helping him with his fitness? Among other things. Financial planning, relationship advice. You know how generous Lana can be with other people's resources." Marlene cackled. "By tomorrow morning, half the town would know. By afternoon, the other half would have heard 3 different versions, each more scandalous than the last." My phone buzzed. Text from Wes Farrow, my neighbor and former cop. "Got eyes on the boyfriend. He's at the gym. You want to send that message we discussed?" I typed back, "Green light." 20 minutes later, Wes called. Package delivered, left it on his windshield. Kid came out, saw it, looked around like someone was watching him. The package was simple, a photo of him and Lana with "I know where you sleep" written on the back in block letters. Nothing threatening, just informative. How'd he react? Took pictures of his car, probably for the police, then spent 10 minutes on his phone, looked pretty rattled. Perfect. Fear was a useful tool, especially with someone like Eli who'd probably never faced real consequences for anything in his privileged life. My phone buzzed again. This time it was a notification from Eli's Instagram story. "Someone is stalking me. This is not okay. Calling police." I smiled, finished my whiskey, and left Marlene to spread the news. Lana tried to maintain her routine, showing up at her PR firm like nothing had changed. But small towns have long memories and short attention spans for anything that isn't gossip. Her boss, Patricia Vance, called me Tuesday morning. "Rowan, I need to ask you something, and I hope you'll be honest with me." "Shoot." "Are you and Lana having problems? Because someone sent me some photos, and I need to know if this affects her work here." The photos weren't anything explicit, just Lana and Eli at lunch, looking intimate. But Patricia ran a family business, and appearances mattered. "We're getting divorced," I said. "What she does on her own time is her business now." "I see. Well, I appreciate your honesty." Lana came home that evening looking like she'd been hit by a truck. "Patricia put me on administrative leave. Someone sent her pictures." "That's unfortunate." "It was you, wasn't it?" "Lana, I've been busy with my own work. Security system installations don't stop for personal drama." She threw her purse across the kitchen. "Don't play innocent with me. This has your fingerprints all over it." "Actually, it has anonymous postmarks and untraceable email accounts. Amazing what people will do when they feel someone's been dishonest with them." Her phone rang. Eli's name flashed on the screen. She answered on speaker, probably hoping to make me jealous or angry. "Lana, this is getting out of hand." Eli's voice was tight with panic. "Someone knows where I live. They've been in my building." "What do you mean?" "The fire alarm went off this morning. Everyone evacuated. When I came back, someone had been in my apartment. Nothing stolen, but things were moved around." I hadn't actually been in his apartment, just triggered the alarm from the basement utility room and watched the chaos from across the street. But paranoia was a beautiful thing. "Maybe you should go stay with your parents for a while," Lana said. "My parents live in Oregon. Besides, I can't just run away. My whole business is here." "What business?" I asked loudly enough for him to hear. The line went quiet. "Was that your husband?" "Ex-husband," Lana corrected. "Soon-to-be ex-husband," I clarified. "And Eli, to answer your question, what business? Last I checked, posting gym selfies wasn't exactly a Fortune 500 operation." "Who is this guy?" Eli's voice cracked slightly. "I install security systems for a living," I said. "I know all about protecting what's valuable and eliminating threats to my client's peace of mind." The line went quiet again. Then Eli hung up. Lana stared at me. "You're scaring him." "Good. Maybe he'll make better choices about other people's wives." Eli's Instagram following started dropping after someone, definitely not me, probably one of Marlene's bar regulars, posted screenshots of his panicked stories alongside photos of him with Lana. The internet loved a good scandal, especially when it involved influencers and adultery. His sponsors began distancing themselves. The supplement company dropped him first, then the workout gear brand. Nothing like moral turpitude clauses to clean house quickly. Lana tried damage control, but she was fighting a war on multiple fronts. Her parents called after receiving copies of her bank statements in the mail. Her sister stopped returning her calls. Even Janice, her supposed best friend, started avoiding her at the grocery store. "This has to stop." Lana cornered me in the garage where I was organizing tools. "You're destroying both our lives." "I'm not destroying anything. I'm just making sure everyone has accurate information to make informed decisions about who they associate with. You're being vindictive. I'm being thorough. My phone rang. Detective Grace Malloy, an old friend who'd gone private after retiring from the force. Rowan, I've got interesting news about your wife and her boyfriend. Do tell. They've been planning something, got them on audio trying to figure out how to frame you for harassment. Apparently, they think if they can make you look like the bad guy, it'll take heat off them. That's ambitious. Also stupid. They met at that warehouse district coffee shop, the one with security cameras on every corner. I smiled. Send me the footage. Already in your email. Lana was still talking, something about how we could work this out, go to counseling, start over. I wasn't listening anymore. I was thinking about end games and final moves and how satisfying it would be to watch her realize she'd been playing checkers while I'd been playing chess. Lana, I interrupted, remember when you said you wouldn't let me destroy your life? Yes. You were right. I wouldn't do that. I pulled up the video on my phone, showed her the footage of her and Eli planning to fabricate evidence against me. You're doing it yourself. Her face went white as she watched herself on camera, plotting my downfall with her boyfriend. Where did you get this? Same place I got everything else. Turns out when you live your life in public, it's pretty easy for the public to see what you're doing. The rooftop parking garage downtown wasn't my first choice for a final confrontation, but Eli had insisted on meeting somewhere neutral after I'd sent him the warehouse footage. Neutral was fine with me. Public was even better. Lana came with him, which I'd expected. They arrived together in his BMW, the one she'd helped finance, looking like they were heading to their own execution. You wanted to talk, I said. Talk. Eli tried to look intimidating, puffing out his chest like he was posing for another Instagram photo. This harassment needs to stop. We're prepared to go to the police. Interesting strategy. What exactly are you going to tell them? That you've been stalking us, threatening us, interfering with our lives. I pulled out my phone, played the warehouse audio. Their voices filled the parking garage, discussing how to fake text messages, create false evidence, make me look unstable. You were saying something about going to the police? Lana stepped forward. That was taken out of context. Really? Which part? The part where you discussed planting evidence in my truck, or the part where you planned to claim I'd been sending threatening messages? Eli's confidence evaporated. Look, man, we can work something out. Maybe we all just go our separate ways, forget this whole thing. Forget what? That you've been having an affair with my wife? That you've been spending my money? That you just tried to frame me for crimes I didn't commit? We never actually did anything. You planned it, on camera, with audio. I stepped closer. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to disappear from Lana's life. You're going to find a new town, a new career, maybe a new personality, and you're going to stay gone. You can't make me do anything. I smiled. Watch me. I held up his car keys, lifted from his pocket when he'd bumped into me earlier. These belong to you, right? Before he could answer, I tossed them over the edge of the parking garage. They clattered down 6 stories to the street below. Oops! Eli lunged for me, but he was all show muscle and no real experience. I sidestepped, let him stumble past, then grabbed his phone from his back pocket. Let's see what other interesting conversations you've been having. I scrolled through his messages while he tried to get his phone back. Well, look at this. Messages from Janice Morrison, Lana's best friend. Looks like you two have been getting to know each other pretty well. Lana's face went pale. What? I read from the screen. Can't wait to see you again. Lana never needs to know about us. You've been cheating on me? Lana's voice rose to a shriek. With my best friend? Eli looked between us like a trapped animal. It wasn't like that. Oh, it gets better. I kept scrolling. Looks like Janice has been feeding him information about you, Lana. Your schedule, your plans, even your fears about our marriage. The betrayal hit Lana like a physical blow. She'd lost her husband, her job, her reputation, and now her best friend and boyfriend had been conspiring behind her back. "You're all insane," Eli said, backing toward the stairwell. "Actually, I'm the sanest person here. I'm the only one who's been honest about what I wanted." Which was what? To make sure everyone knew exactly who you really are. Sirens wailed in the distance. Someone had called the police, probably one of the people who'd gathered on the street below to watch our drama unfold. I looked at Lana, standing there in her expensive dress, finally seeing the full scope of what she'd lost. "You vanished for a week, thinking you were so clever. Thought you could have your cake and eat it too. Rowan." But here's the thing about burning bridges, Lana. Sometimes the fire spreads further than you planned. The police cars pulled into the garage. Detective Malloy got out of the first one, walked over to us with a grim smile. "Rowan, Lana, Mr. Sloane." She looked at each of us in turn. "I believe we need to have a conversation about conspiracy to commit fraud." I handed her Eli's phone. "Everything you need is right there." As they led Eli away in handcuffs and read Lana her rights, I walked to the edge of the parking garage and looked down at the crowd that had gathered. News crews were already setting up. By tomorrow, this would be all over social media. Lana had wanted to be the center of attention. Mission accomplished. I walked past the chaos, down the stairs, and out into the night. My truck was parked 3 blocks away. By the time I reached it, my phone was already buzzing with calls from reporters. I turned it off and drove home to my empty house, where I poured myself a whiskey and sat in my kitchen, surrounded by the silence Lana had left behind. It was the most peaceful I'd felt in years.